Hi, welcome to the Grateful Farmer.
Yeah, enjoy your garlic harvest. Right here in central Ontario, it's pretty well timed to get at it. Thanks for watching. So we're digging main patch garlic right now. So this garlic's really ready to harvest because, you know, we're beyond half green. Most of the plant is brown. It still has a pretty nice wrap on it. It's done all it possibly can. There will be a good chunk of garlic in this field that is not this far along. The other thing that you might take note of is weeds. So when it comes down to, we're getting near the end of, we're a month from harvesting garlic. We forget about weeding the garlic patch because it provides a living mulch, creates a shade, retains moisture, and weeds are a natural soil sample. Great book called Why Weeds will tell you the mineral makeup of any weed. So this lamb's quarters right here is mining calcium. So it says that right there in this spot, the earth needs calcium, and so it's bringing calcium up from the depths, and as that plant dies and decays or gets turned back into the soil by whatever machine does that, it provides the minerals that are lacking in that soil to help it be more balanced. So weeds are not always your enemy. They may be a bit of a nuisance. We'll get over that. Okay. So the procedures for digging garlic out of the ground. Some people like a fork. Some people like a shovel. I kind of like the round mouth shovel. You don't want to skewer your bulb. Practice will help that. Just gently loosen the soil around it and lift the garlic out, give it a little shake. And then it's got a clump of dirt on the bottom. Take the bulb, give it a shake. Don't grab the shaft because you just break things. Just give it a shake. Generally, most of it will come out. Wee bit of a brush around. Now you got most of the dirt off. And then set that garlic on a dry piece of ground. And it's going to lay there in the sun for the rest of the day. A little bit of breeze on that dry ground. And that's going to suck most of the moisture out of that soil. And then pick it up out of your field or garden, set it somewhere to dry a little bit more, and when it's convenient, brush as much of the dirt off as you can with a layer of paper, and then you'll bundle it up in those bundles like we showed you earlier or later, and hang it for a couple of weeks in as dry and dark and air movement a place as you can, and that cures it nicely. A slow cure is a tasty cure. So we've harvested this garlic. You've dug some garlic out of your garden. Because the weeds are growing up here, providing fertilizer and doing what weeds do, we mow that down, and then this will be disked or tilled to incorporate that green material back into the soil for the biology, mostly bacteria, I guess, in that case, that will eat that stuff up and keep those minerals and nutrients within the zone of the roots. When you've taken your crop out, then it's best to either plant another crop that you want to harvest or a cover crop, a group of cover crops. Diversity is always your friend. So a group of cover crops. In this field that we just took a bunch of stuff out of, we sowed oats and barley and radish, like tiller radish, daikon radish. And that crop will grow up for a few weeks. It'll get mowed and reincorporated, and either another garden crop will get sowed or another cover crop. You start to do a couple of cover crops in a row, watch the production in that little piece of soil come way up, way up. Try not to leave your garden bare. Plant something on it, leftover seeds, anything, mix them up, throw them around, rake them in, just keep it green, and then incorporate that back into the earth, and the earth will thank you. Thank you. This was pulled out of the ground maybe 5-6 days ago. It's starting to crisp up, but it'll still be a couple of weeks drying. We'll move it to a darker spot, whether it's your tool shed, we have a little hut we put it in. We've got a bank barn with straw and hay, and it keeps things fairly dry. Just gives you an idea of how you can bundle your garlic, brush the dirt off, thank it very much, and put it to bed for a couple of weeks. A dry, dark spot, bit of air movement. It is the end of July here in central Ontario, and garlic is ready to harvest. We've done a bit of footage on looking for color and leaf color and scapes, what they do this time of year, the scapes you leave on. The next stage, as we're picking the garlic out of the ground, leaving it on the ground to dry for a day, hopefully getting it good and dry. Now to take the dirt off it. If you leave dirt on, you run into more potential mold troubles, and it slows down the cure. In some ways, slowing down the cure is maybe a good thing, in that when you try and cure anything too fast, whether it's tobacco or garlic or other things that you cure, hay I suppose, the faster you cure it, the sharper it tastes. It almost adds a bitterness to it. Coffee's probably the same. And so in damp weather, we'll pull this wagon right inside the barn and brush a bunch of the dirt off it, depending on how dry the garlic is, how dry the dirt is, how nicely it cleans up. We may set it back on the wagon, take the rough stuff off, set it back on the wagon for another day, and then do the final cleanup before we hang that garlic in the barn for a couple or 3 weeks or longer to fully cure, to help it store, enhance the flavors. It's just a matter of, gently brushing the dirt off. We grade it for size, we grade it for quality. So we just take strings. Well, there is more than one way to do this. A lot of farmers would cut the stalk off, cut the roots off. Now they have less moist material to dry, and they generally at that time put it on a screen in a barn like this or something like this, or even a heating unit with fans. If they're, if it's a big commercial operation, they've got to spend a fair bit of time. They got a lot of garlic to dry, so they put it into a dryer for a day or two, and it comes out dry. For me, I like the slow cure, and so we grade it by size and quality. We make up a bundle. We wrap a string around it. And then we just hang it on a nail. I'm going to walk that way. And hang it like that for a few weeks until we decide
unleash it onto our customers. Put a bit of time and effort into that. We give it some thought. We learn all we can from old garlic farmers and new garlic farmers, and pretty exciting times here, so thanks for coming. Thanks so much for watching. Have a fabulous day.
That's all I got to say about that.